Hello, this is Richie from PlayStation Country and we are back. So if you're still subscribed to our channel, thank you very much. We've been incredibly lazy, but we're looking to really start doing a lot more videos. And we're not doing our usual thing at the moment, which is a review. Instead, this is a bit of a guide and a bit of a look at Snooker Nation Championship, which is an indie game that's just come out. So there's two snooker games that have come out, and this is one of them. The other is Snooker 19, which has all of the licenses and the venues and Ronnie O'Sullivan's face and all that stuff. But this is an indie game which is about a quarter of the price, and we tend to prefer it. And one of the reasons is because it lets you make really big breaks. So there's a trophy for getting the 147 break, and you have to do this against the AI. So set the AI to easy, and this is a bit of a guide on how to do it. You do want to have the extended aim on, and as you can see there's like a little greyish black dot that shows up. That's telling you where your white ball is going to go. That's super important. So the first few shots of this frame were just me and the AI kind of clipping the triangle of reds, just to kind of break them up a little but without leaving any sort of shots open. Here's me taking my first red and the subsequent black. Now what you want to be looking for here is getting onto another red is clearly the main thing, but also breaking up the reds that are there, because they'll all tend to sort of block each other, so you won't be able to get onto a shot. Now if you use the D-pad, you can press down on it and that will sort of apply backspin, and forward will do or up will do forward sort of spin, or up top spin. There you go, top spin. So you'll find that's quite useful for helping you kind of control the white ball. And again, what you want to do is kind of just keep making micro adjustments so that you're onto the black ball each time, and then the subsequent red. So apologies right away, because this is going to make me sound like I'm actually commentating on a snooker match like a dickhead, which 16. I apologise if that's what it sounds like. Also, I'm trying to be a bit quiet because I haven't done a video for a while, feel kind of self-conscious. So anyway, here we are sort of again just 17. Chipping away at these reds and blacks. These early stages, there's enough 24. Reds out there that you can generally sort of find one to pot. You'd be very unlucky to sort of block yourself off. Now reds that end up at the top of the table like this, you kind of want to get rid of them as soon as possible. The big thing here is that I'm using the left stick to pull back to add power, and then I'm pressing right one, or the right shoulder button, to kind of lock in the power. That lets me see that greyish sort of indicator. Every time you lock in, it's like, right, this is where the white ball is going to end up. So there I was kind of looking at a long shot. It looks like I've decided against it. Now I've just done this. I did the trophy yesterday, but this was a second attempt at 147. Or first attempt at recording it.
25.
I can't remember exactly every shot I did, so I'm talking along with the video on my PC. This was all done on the PS4 version though. So again, it's just about sort of very calmly taking out each red and each black.
32.
The harder you hit a shot, even though you sort of know where the white's going to go, if it hits another ball, that will disrupt it, and you could end up with a touching ball, or you could end up snookered on the black, and you don't want that. So you do want to kind of play this with these sort of as little power as you can get away with. Okay, so it looks like I'm trying to get rid of this one of these reds at the wrong end of the table. And here I'm just doing those micro adjustments on the power, trying to see if I can get myself over to the black. Now it doesn't matter if you end up against the cushion, like the indicator said I was going to there, because
33.
The aiming is very, very forgiving. Now I hit a red on the way there, so that's why the white didn't end up where it was supposed to, but it's ended up even better than it was going to, so that's great. Again, here it looks like I'm sort of trying to get the white sort of through that bunch of reds.
40.
Not a very good attempt at it, but I'm still on a red because there's so many out there. Right, here's a bit of a risky shot because I can't really be sure where the white's going to end up. Yeah, I'm much
41.
closer to the black than I intended to be there, but that's fine. So again, this is the guide, you know, this is how you do this trophy. It's about picking off those reds, about every once in a while you have to make a bit of a gamble, a bit of a risky decision, and that is that you're going to, you know, plough that white into the reds just to break them up.
48.
Now pressing triangle gives you this top-down view. That's pretty much essential. Snooker 19 doesn't have that, and it's one of the reasons why I just am not getting on with the game. It's like, yes, I get it, it's a simulation, and generally you don't tend to have out-of-body
49.
experiences whilst playing snooker, but even so, you know, it's a fucking game, let's relax. This plays like an old school snooker game or an old school pool game, and is much more playable for it, even if you don't get to play against or be Ronnie O'Sullivan
56.
or John Higgins or whoever else is famous in snooker these days. I don't know. Pro tip: go into the settings and turn down the referee's voice. He's incredibly loud on the default setting.
57.
So before going for this trophy, or before getting this trophy I should say, I did have a few goes at it. I think I managed to get about 11 or 12 reds and blacks in before cocking it up. I was very tense doing the trophy yesterday when I did it for the first time, but actually it's not that difficult.
64.
And I was able to repeat it pretty easily. The main thing is, you know, you might as well try and do it in the actual championship matches whilst you're going for those trophies. Those trophies are glitched, by the way, so you'll get the trophy for winning the qualifiers and the final, but you won't get for winning the semi-final or the quarter-finals. They're patching that in this weekend. By the time you see this, it's probably already going to have been done. But I'd already sort of won the championships.
65.
I'm waiting for that patch, so I did this run in an AI like quick match. And every time I kind of cocked it up, or the break didn't go great, or I wasn't able to do something, I just restarted. So if you're really
72.
going for this trophy and you've already done the championships, then just
73.
play a quick match. So at this point, the only thing that's a bit worrying is that red that's up by the green. Everything else is pretty solid. Nothing's really blocking
80.
anything. One of the things I really like about the game is that by default it will set like a sort of default shot power on any shot, so you can just kind of line it up and just press up on the left stick and that will just take a shot for you. And sometimes, you know, you just look at it and go, oh, that looks like a good shot.
81.
White's going to end up where it needs to be, so you can do some really sort of quick shots and just really blaze through these breaks.
88.
Frightening to think that this is slower than Ronnie O'Sullivan does it, but you know, I'm not sure he's entirely human.
89.
So there you'll notice that the white was, you know, it's finished slightly further towards the bulk than, is that the bulk? Well, the right hand side, the end of the table than where the black is. That's fine because it lets you kind of cut back into the middle. Alright, so a little bit of adjustment needed here. At this point it's much for muchness. You've seen me just taking out
97.
each red and black. It's a risky shot that I played there, don't know why I did that. But you can cut these in pretty finely and not have a problem. Looks like this sets me up nicely for that red, so I'm just playing with my power now just to see what I need to do to end up there. You see that as you add power, sometimes it just changes the direction of where your white goes as well, so I'm worried about it hitting the pink there, but by adding more power it's sort of made it work.
104.
Alright, ended up nicely there. Brown's in the way a bit, but a bit of extra power, maybe a bit of spin will get me clear of that. Alright, watch out for the middle pocket there. So again, just do micro adjustments here to make sure they end up on the black. Perfect.
105.
I'm pressing, I think it's X, to skip through the shots. So Snooker 19 doesn't let you do that, and on AI shots you can hold down right trigger, right 2, and it will speed things up, but it's nice to be able to just skip the shot. I don't need to see the animation, I just need to know where it all ends up. So I'm using a lot of backspin here to sort of try and get position. Remember, I've still got to get on this black after that next red.
112.
I knew I was going to leave myself a bit of work here to get position, just because the white's going towards the other end of the table because of how I'm lined up on that red. God, I do sound like a snooker commentator, don't I? This is awful. Okay, again, making those micro adjustments. You can see I'm kind of, too much power puts me in one pocket.
113.
Okay, so I guess that one I bounced off the inside of that pocket there. Whatever, got me position. Now, if you've got this far and you've done 15 reds and about to do this 15th black, you're pretty much home free. I'm a bit worried there about the white getting, hitting the pink or the blue.
120.
But again, the aiming's so sort of generous that you don't need to have a good position. You just need to have a theoretically potable shot, and then the aim will do the rest of it for you pretty much. So I'll probably do a full review of this at some point, but if you want the spoiler for that, it's I really like it. It's really playable and fun. A couple of early bugs are letting it down.
122.
I do find it a lot more fun than Snooker 19, which has all the, like I say, the licenses and the venues, but I'd rather be able to make breaks like this than see a virtual John Higgins in Sheffield. I don't think I've ever been to Sheffield. Nothing against it. Okay, so just doing those micro adjustments again to get on the brown. I don't mind that I'm kind of level with it because I know I can cut it in, and then it's just a case of just making sure that my indicator shows that I'm on for a good position with the blue. Bit of worry there with the pocket being in the way, but I think a bit of spin will just make the white move sort of unpredictably, but you can see where it's going to go, so I'm just trying things out here. Obviously, because I'm cutting it, it's made my indicator for where the brown's going to go a bit shorter as well, but if you're unsure, just you can hold something against the screen.
129.
I always kind of hold a television remote control in front of my eyes, sort of line things up when I get a shot that I'm not sure about. Didn't have to do that on this one though. Okay, just a little bit of power to get the blue into the pocket and
134.
make sure the white didn't go out of position. Doing a little bit of adjustment here on the power to try and get a better position, but at this point it's all gravy.
$140.
Right, watch out for this. It will ask you if you want to just end the frame there because you've clearly won. It's like, no, I'm not going to stop on a 140, you assholes. Anyway, here we are taking the final shot. Once you've done that, the trophy pops in the next screen, and that's great. Obviously it won't pop here, we've already done the trophy, but hopefully this helped. And if it didn't help you get the trophy, maybe it just helps you see what the game's like. So thanks for checking us out. Come check us out at PlayStationCountry.com, and if you can drop us a like and a subscribe, that'd be amazing. But hey, no pressure.